Well, keep an eye on GAIL as the state-owned gas utility is planning to sell its 4.6% stake in China Gas Holdings, which is a Hong Kong-listed city gas distribution firm. Now, the company GAIL had invested about 137 crores by acquiring about 2.1 crore shares in China Gas Holdings in 2005. And as the shares have performed very well on Hong Kong Stock Exchange, where China Gas Holdings currently has a market cap of nearly $4.4 billion. So GAIL is looking to sell its equity, and its stake would be valued close to about 1,200 crores as of now. So this will definitely help it recoup part of its initial investment. Next one is Karur Vyasya Bank, where the bank has now raised its FI investment cap up to 40%, and on the other hand, it is also looking to seek the shareholder nod for raising capital via QIP. Adani Group is also now joined the fray with the likes of Tata Steel as well as JSW and JSPL, as it has also formed up plans to bid for Stemcor India assets, where the auction is expected to start next month, and assets worth about $800 million are up for sale over here. So Adani Group, which has interests in ports as well as power and mineral resources, is looking to shore up and boost its security on the mineral ore assets. Looking at some of the earnings that came after market hours, take a look at Uflex, which saw its profits dropping by about 23% to come in at 43 crores, even as its sales remain flat at about 1,371 crores. Also, Welspun Corp posted a wider than expected loss of nearly 59 crores versus a profit of 7.5 crores year on year, and its sales also saw an uptick of 5% to come in at 2,676 crores. Well, Crompton Greaves, Bajaj Electricals and Yes Bank were the three stocks buzzing in trade. Crompton Greaves bounced up from its intraday lows and ended with gains of 3% after announcing its first quarterly earnings, where the net sales rose by 12% due to better than expected revenues from the domestic consumer segment as well as healthy industrial revenues. However, the net profits plunged by 30% due to wider than expected loss from the international segment as well as increase in interest costs, as a result of which it saw margin contraction of nearly 130 bips to come in at 4.6% as the international revenues dragged down the EBITDA performance, and we also saw margin decline across all the segments. So this counter saw the highest volume action in the last 6 months. Next one was Bajaj Electricals, that tanked 9.5% and slumped to its fresh 52-week low after its profits plunged 95% year on year due to the severe erosion in profitability in its E&P segment, which is the second biggest contributor to its revenues, and this is because the old orders were executed at wafer-thin margins. The management expects this pain to last for the next two quarters, and recovery to come around in the final quarter of this fiscal, as a result of which its margins too were half to 2.6%, and it turned out to be the top loser on the BSE Consumer Durables Index, accompanied by the highest volume action in the last 2 months. Lastly, Yes Bank plunged 8%, stretching its downslide and hitting the fresh 52-week low, where the volatile rupee also plunged to its record low of 61.8, and there was widespread concern on the street that the Mint Street may act and take measures to stem the volatility in rupee, which could impact the liquidity among banks, and noting its sensitivity to all these measures, it turned out to be the top loser on the CNX Bank Nifty.